Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Hollywood After Dark. Today is February 21st, 2023. Tonight we're going to be talking about Netflix canceling Mindhunter and how out of all the dumb things they could do, that's one of the dumbest. Mando Season 4. And oh my God, guys, a whole bunch of other stuff here. Hollywood After Dark. It's going to be a wild, crazy show. Get ready to laugh, get ready to cry, get ready to blow chunks. Let's fucking go. Hey, what's going on, everybody? How you guys doing? Welcome to the party. Welcome to the show. Sorry, I was late. I have a valid excuse, right? It's not just being lazy. I didn't have a windstorm like I had last night. It was really all about trying to uphold my other obligations and finally sit down and record the episode I've been waiting all month to record, is to talk about The Running Man. I just watched the movie. I just recorded the audio. It will be up later tonight after the show. I have to quickly edit it down. I have to get it ready to go. But yes, folks, it's there. It's coming. It's glorious. It's great. And of course, I love doing it. It's going to be a very interesting night. Let me take a look here at the chat to check on in with everybody. Todd here asking, did The Rock tell Cavill to say he's back as Superman as a power play to control over DC? Well, according to Henry Cavill, he says that the studio is the one that actually had told him to say that he was back. Now, what that is, you know, I'm assuming it's Warner Brothers. I'm assuming it's that. It could also potentially be, you know, it could be the studio being $7 Productions. They could, you know, that could be that production studio. So I'm assuming. If you want my honest opinion, Cavill's enough of a team player. All right, enough of a team player to definitely tell us the right thing, to tell us that, you know, obviously it would be coming from Warner Brothers. And I do think that at this point it really is just them hedging their bets. As weird as that is to say, you know, I just would really love to get some declaration on that, to get some information, to get some truth on that one there. Let's see here. Todd Fair also says Ant-Man 3 made over 100 million plus domestic high for an Ant-Man movie. The MCU is still best and most successful game in Hollywood. That ain't changing anytime soon. Now, like I said last night, I will be seeing Ant-Man and the Wasp on Thursday night. I am going to be watching Cocaine Bear, and then I will be walking right over to go and see fucking Ant-Man and the Wasp. And I'm very, very excited to do so. Jarbo in the thumbnail. I mean, kinda. If I decided to cut my stash like that, you know, that might be a little bit creepy. I don't know if I want to do that, you guys. I don't know if I want to cut my stash like that, so to speak. But it is definitely, yeah, he looks like me. This is the problem when you've got like rotund Americans with glasses and beards, mustaches, or, you know, things like that. Because like we all kind of look the same. Like whenever I go to E3, I'm not even making this up. Whenever I go to E3, it literally is just a cloning facility. That's what it is. It's just a cloning facility. That's all it is, right? It's just that. It's all fat dudes with glasses, goatees, or beards, and we all look the same. It's all fat white guys with the same look on their face. It's very stupid. But it is unfortunately where it is on that one. And you know, so we have everything that we can. We can. I know. It is what it is on that one. Couple other things to talk about today, as we will be getting into some stuff here. I think what I'm trying to find one article that I was looking for, because there's a lot going on. So I don't know if you guys are into the VOD stuff like I am. The Whale hit VOD today, as well as Knock at the Cabin hit VOD today. So I need to check out Knock at the Cabin. I feel weird that Knock at the Cabin literally like just came out. All right. Like it literally just came out, and yet it's already on VOD. This is the thing. I mean, like, that's the weird thing. When it comes to this kind of stuff, you guys, like, it's just, how can you sit there and say, I want to go, you know, I like, I don't know, maybe I'm just kind of overthinking this one a little bit and stuff. Maybe I'm overthinking that just a wee bit. It just seems kind of weird. Reed here says, so that nerdrotic discourse was pretty funny. If you guys don't know about that, so I showed you guys the tweet the other day, right? The tweet the other day where I made fun of nerdrotic, right? He was wearing that stupid ass "Make Marvel Mail Again" t-shirt, and I'll bring the tweet up here if I can. If I could find it. It's up here, you guys. I swear to God. Okay. But basically, I just made fun of it quite a bit because I thought it was really stupid. I thought him wearing something like this is utterly ridiculous. You know, if you're out there going like, come on, you guys, I'm going to be taken seriously as an auteur, as a critic. You know, it says here, got my brand new shirt from Flagrant Triggers. And then I said, tell me you're gay without telling me you're gay. And his fans were just like, that's extremely homophobic of you. And I'm like, how is that homophobic? Right? I have no issue if he's gay. I'm not the one out there doing all that other fucking shit about that. Ralph Stubbletisser says, who was that other loser trying to flame you? It might have been him. It might have other people. There's a lot. Here's the thing. Ralph Stubbletits, like, you know, Ralph Stubbletits here, if you don't know that the name on that, what it's from, it's from the ragiest pig in the sector of the online chuds, right, on the political side of it, and that'd be a guy named Ethan Ralph. Huge piece of shit. Okay, whole thing with that we could talk about at one point in time or not. But anyway, I don't know if you know Ralph Stubbletits, like when we talk about the chuds, all right, when we talk about the chuds in regards to like movie discourse, movie commentary, like this is who we're talking about. We're talking about Nerdrotic, Geeks and Gamers, Critical Drinker, all these guys that push the same kind of like culture war nonsense. And I'm sure you know who they are, but it is really ridiculous, like how bad they get. And Gary, I don't know if I should say, like, to his credit, tried to like come at me. So his fans came at me today, right? His fans were coming at me today. And I thought it was really funny because, you know, they're ridiculously dumb. Like his fans are stupid as shit, right? They're dumb. Like they're so crazy here. So I could, you know, like they were trying to come at me a little bit, and I'm trying to find like the tweet that was kind of like, cause Eric July was like, I also kind of went after him a little bit. So there's a lot of crap about that. And one of his guys, let's see if I can find it here. It's up here earlier in my tweets. So basically what it was, they were just kind of coming at me over this thing. And ultimately, yeah, here we go. Like, let me bring this up again. Sorry, guys. So this is a tweet. This guy, the Uber geek, someone who pays for Twitter verification, says, hey, let me help you out and actually tag Nerdrotics in this post because clearly you wouldn't be cowardly and not actually be able to direct the guy you're having a go at, right? Here's the thing, is like I tag him too. And I say here, Gary is a grifting bigot who sells fear just like he did meth many years ago. He knows how to sell idiots like you exactly what you need to get high and forget that their lives suck. Enjoy the high, but be warned the crash is pretty bad. As we can see here, there's 25 quote tweets, but I'm not ratioed, I guess, in the term of whatever ratio might be, because there's 122 likes, you know, and everything else. And there's not that many comments on it from there. But I wonder, like, see, here we go. Gary here says, this tweet makes me hungry. Time for Uber Eats. To which case I quote tweet and say, based on the shirts you wear, I have to ask if you're hungry for cock. I don't think Uber Eats delivers that. Sorry. Like, it's just, that's the whole fucking thing. All right. Yeah. Reed's right. Eric July is worse when it comes to insults. It's like, look, these guys, man, we know that this is Gary. We know that this is Gary. We know that Gary is Anita Sarkeesian now, and all they do is cry and complain about stuff, you know? And as I was talking about, it's so funny because in this episode of Podio Commentary with Running Man, I talk about how the guy behind the show starts talking about, he basically lays out the playbook for like the kind of culture war chuds we have today, about how it's all television, but it's all entertainment. It doesn't really hurt anybody, yada, yada, yada. Never mind, he's legitimately killing people in the story. But like, that's the idea here that these guys want you to believe. These guys want you to believe that literally nothing they say actually matters, that people are just fundamentally, You know, they know that it's all kayfabe. They know that it's all a joke. These guys don't believe in what they say. They aren't true believers. Like, we know that. We absolutely know that. You're talking about another bad tooth Brit. I mean, you're gonna have to give me more of more clarification on that one, guys, on who the fuck a bad tooth Brit might be, because I don't know. It could be literally anybody. It could be literally anybody. So all right. Let me just hold on. I want to fix something here. Okay. All right. Where are we at here? And Tony here says never stop. I don't plan on it, man. I don't play. Here's the thing. If all Nerdrotic can say to that is like, I'm hungry, time for Uber Eats. Bitch, that ain't a comeback. Like, I don't hide from the fact that I deliver people's food for money. I don't hide that fact. I mean, you dealt meth. Arguably, I think I'm a bigger benefit for society than you are, you know, like whatever. But what's so funny is one of these guys, and I don't use the term like Soyface very often. I don't, because I think it's ridiculous. But this guy reeked of soy, and just whatever. And he was like, Matt Jarbo overstepped the line, calling out someone, and making fun of addiction. And I'm like, this guy sold meth. I don't give a shit. Like, what the fuck, And that was the whole thing. Is I'm all like, peddling hatred isn't illegal, but it is addictive, like meth. It's true. It's true. Gary is a convicted felon, and he openly acknowledges that he's a convicted felon. That doesn't mean I don't get to make fun of him for having sold meth, potentially to children. I have no fucking idea. Just like if he wants to bring up the flagging incident from 2018, he has every right to bring up the flagging incident from 2018 to throw that back in my face. However, on the grand scale of things, right, when we start looking at it all from just a top-down perspective and we start really kind of gauging all of our actions, my idiocy is still not selling meth to people, potentially children. Right? I think we could agree. That the grand scheme of things, like, I'm an idiot, but I'm not that much of a fucking dickhead. I think we could agree. Let's see here. Ralph Subletister says these guys are so lame with their comebacks. We all know the jock bully the hell out of them. Yeah, I know. And the thing is, it's like the retorts are so ridiculous. That's the thing I enjoy. Someone even said to me today too, they go, oh, like, you ran from D-Day Cobra, Jeremy, about having a debate. And I'm like, cause Jeremy likes to bring that up every once in a while if we get into a tiff. And I'm like, for one, I was mobile and I was on StreamYard and I was delivering food. I was in no position to have a debate in that moment in time. But he uses it out of context as a way to try to, scold me. But then last year when we actually, had our little debate, he never wants to mention it again because of how badly it went for him. And that's the thing, is like, all you have to be to defeat these guys truly is not even louder. It's not even really smarter. It's just know how to really not let them get a one up on the bullshit, because they like to ask those kind of those questions, answer questions with questions sort of things to put it back on you. And it's really just holding your boot to their fucking neck, because that's where it's at. But what I find to be fascinating is when I deal with these people and I read the responses from their audience, right? From the chuds. And I read the responses and it's always like, what, you just don't like that they're calling out like the bad woke Hollywood? And I'm like, some asshole today tried calling me a fucking fascist. I'm like, right, yeah, the guy who wants free healthcare, better education, and an overall better society. That's the fascist. Fucking dick. I tell you guys, it's ridiculous. Now, Tony here asking a good question. Do you think Anita laid out the groundwork in some way for the current crowd of chuds? Yes. Yeah, she did. Anita, god damn. See, this is a problem, right? The current chuds, man, like, they figured it out. That's the thing you guys have to realize here. All right. Anita wasn't the first, and she won't be the last, but she was very effective, because what she was able to do was to take valid criticism over the things that she said, which were ridiculous in many instances, and provably wrong in quite a few others, and then take that into being I'm harassed. Now, that mindset has actually worked very well for a lot of people on the left. To be fair, a lot of left activists have been able to do that, right? Like anytime you criticize one, they will block you. Look at Steve Shives, for example. Or like Will Wheaton got bullied so hard he left Twitter, and he was one of like the first pioneers of nerddom on Twitter, and he quit Twitter to go to Facebook. You know? Like he quit Twitter to go to Facebook because of how bad Twitter got. And he didn't really benefit it. He didn't really add to it on his own end, but these guys were able to play the victim quite often. So what the right wingers did is they realized that they can do the exact same thing with their audience, but they have to do it by literally hiding behind bigotry, sexism, racism, and misogyny. That's how they do it. The more racist they are, literally, the more racist they are and they get clapped back on, they can just go, but I'm just like talking. I just need my opinions, guys. Like that's all it is. And they're able to pull it off. And their audience thinks that these are the kind of people that go, man, we're the downtrodden. We're the disenfranchised. You know, won't somebody please think of the white men? Now, if you want my honest opinion on that, I do think that they have an argument to an extent. Now, that's not to say that I mean everything. What I mean by that is yes, men have dominated culture for a long time. We are in a paradigm shift in the moment. People who were more marginalized have the megaphone. And a lot of the people who speak loudly shouldn't speak loudly because they're kind of dumb, but they know how to speak loudly, and that ends up being a thing. If you look at, let's say, college statistics, right? 2 out of every 3 college students are women. 2 out of every 3 college graduates with a bachelor's degree are women. We've noticed a trade industry leaving the country, manufacturing leaving the country, jobs that were largely done by able-bodied young men. That has actually gone away in many instances. We've seen this. This is the response of unfettered capitalism. And so when you still have a white majority in this country, and there being quite a few white men in this country, there are young men out there who do feel disenfranchised. They feel downtrodden. They're not too sure what to do. And unfortunately, in many of these kind of spaces, a lot of them are just like, they're not bad people, but they're like, how do I go, well, what about me? Because they're told that their feelings never matter. And that is something that is actually true. Like they're told this. I'm not saying that their feelings don't matter. I mean that they're being told this in a lot of public ways, that they're being told that their feelings don't matter. And this is where you get people like Gary and like Jeremy who come on in and they're able to go, listen, my white brother, I understand your anger. I understand your strife. I understand your struggle. You are not the problem. You bettering your existence for yourself. My God, that's not how you have to do it. That's not what you have to do. The problem is them. The problem is the women. The problem is the minorities. The problem are the people out there, the trans people, the gay people, like all the people that they want to go after, the people that they want to admonish. Those are the ones that they put all of the problems on. Trans people are what, like 0.4% of our population? No. Sorry. So I think like 1.3% of our total population are people who identify as transgender. 1.3% roughly. I could be wrong on that. Fact check me if you want to. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay. It could be 1.3 to 1.4%. It's not many is the point I'm trying to make, but they're the ones that are now like causing all these problems in these guys' eyes. It's because that again is the idea that gets put into their heads. This is why the alt-right were able to be were able to grow back in 2017. This is why a lot of that shit went the way that it did, because we started giving all of these megaphones to people who just, again, started spouting the same kind of you could almost to an extent argue segregationist nonsense, right? And I hate to say it like that, but the way that I view it at this point is in many instances, people would, like, it almost feels like reverse Jim Crow is a thing. And of course, I have no evidence to back that up. It's a very hyperbolic statement. And I'm just saying that in the sense of, this is where, instead of talking to each other, this is where we're at. It's pointing fingers across the board. And that's where the problem generally lies. But we're joined here by Chris, the Bipolar Jedi. How's it going, buddy?
Man, Mindhunters, huh?
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, that was like a big deal.
Yeah, Mindhunter was a good show, you know? Right? Totally good show. You came in at the weirdest spot. I'm just like, it's been a weird day, Chris. I've been battling people on Twitter as I usually do.
No, I saw the neurotic stuff and I thought it was funny, and the rest of the stuff. I did a stream today talking about the hashtag stuff, and fucking Zod got mad at me. I'm like, whatever. He got mad at me on Twitter. Like, why can't people just like what they want to like and other people mind their business? Really?
Yeah.
Really? Pot meat kettle? What the fuck are you talking about, dude?
Oh yeah.
But,
well, there's hold on here. H Bart's here for 5. Thank you. Says, have you heard Matt Walsh talk about gay people? What an asshole. Yeah, people like Matt Walsh are just like deeply confused about where they are in life. You know what I mean? It's like, but the thing is, like, a lot of those guys, again, it's kayfabe. Like, Chris, are you a wrestling fan?
I am a wrestling fan.
That was a more of a rhetorical question, but yes, thank you for answering.
Okay.
But I mean, you know what kayfabe is, obviously. And would you agree with me when I say that, like, probably one of the biggest menaces in media is kayfabe? Right? It's
man. I saw you tweet that the other day, and I was like, man, that's really smart. You know what I mean?
But it's true. These people don't believe what it is. Like, we get all these leaked messages that are coming out now from like Fox.
But does everybody know what kayfabe is? Like,
I don't think everyone knows what kayfabe is. So
kayfabe is where you convince yourself to believe something that's not true to go along with the story. You know it's not true, but you believe it anyway. It's like it's wrestling. Wrestling's the best thing. You know it's scripted. You know it's not real, but you still cheer it along like it is real. You do that. You suspend disbelief on a level that you actually go along with the narrative. That's kayfabe.
Yeah, I mean that's what I've I agree with you on that. Your whole point there, and that's a lot of what we see. And it's people on the left and on the right where, and a lot of it is people who have built up these audiences, right? So I'll give you guys a prime example. Like, if you ever watch any like YouTube guru, right? Which I fucking watch a bunch of them, but like I come to realize I hate most of them. And because they always go like, someone will be like, what is it that like what do I do? How do I grow? And they'll be like, well, look at what The Rock did. Okay, actually, I'll go back to The Rock because The Rock said it, and it blew up in his face. To be fair, when he says, if you listen to the audience will never steer you wrong, right? Which, I'm sorry, I disagree with that notion. It's not to say that the audience doesn't help, because the audience will definitely tell you what they're into, and that ends up being a thing. But it's not up to the audience to guide you. It's up to you to ultimately guide the audience, because you're the one putting on the presentation. You're the one putting on the show. It's your production, meaning that you can take what they say and run with it, and you still want to make it your own thing, but never like let them control everything. And the problem with that, with what The Rock was saying, is he was trying to use that at the time of going like, if you listen to the fans, they'll tell you what they want. And the fans, well, they want Henry Cavill Superman, right? So we got him. And it just failed to materialize in the way that they wanted it to.
And now they got to point the finger at everybody.
Kind of, yeah.
It's so, yeah, I went off about it. I think it's dumb. It's exactly what you're saying it is, man. It really is. It's 2023, guys. You gotta, this is the new world we're in. Like, where people will make themselves believe shit because it's easier to believe a good lie than it is to swallow the hard truth.
Yeah. And that's why we fight with Snyder fans constantly, right? And it's like, you look at someone, you mentioned Zod Rider before. So, today because I'll be honest with you guys, like a while back I was sent Ski Walker's actual Facebook page, right? And because I didn't know his name, now I know his name. And I was like looking through his page, and I was kind of like, all right, whatever, and then like I'm looking through some more, and I see like other people that he's friends with, like I recognize their names as well. And then I come across Zod Rider. I'm not going to say his real name. But I don't think it'd really matter if I did, to be honest with you, because guess what's all over his public Facebook page? All of the same shit's on Twitter. And he tags everybody by their real name. The people that you only know them through their Twitter monikers or their YouTube names or whatever, he's tagging their real names. And I'm just laughing at this because I'm just okay, so you guys are hiding away on Facebook. And this is all public because it's not hidden behind anything. It's not privated. And it's just, again, the same kind of nonsense. And so like to see them, because again, the idea there is like, like the kayfabe side, believing in it, believing in the nonsense. These guys are true believers. Like, I don't believe that Mikey Sutton is a true believer. I don't believe that Syl is a true believer, but I think their consiglieres are. You know what I mean? Because these are the guys who have found identity and purpose within these groups. And I mentioned this before as well, but it's like, I'm listening, like, so I'll give you guys a prime example of actually some of that stuff. We'll kind of laugh real quick at this, right? I called this out on Twitter. I don't know if you happen to see this. If you happen to see this report that came out today from Mikey Sutton.
No.
Where he says here, Jason Momoa appalled by Aquaman 2 to leave role for Lobo. And I'm like, what? Okay, that's a big one. Like, what does that mean? What's going on with this? So, okay, looking into the article further, saying Jason Momoa is rumored to exit Aquaman franchise and become the DCU's Lobo. Per scooper Jeff Snyder, Aquaman and the Kingdom left Jason Momoa disappointed. All right, saying it's terrible, but that's why I hear Momoa is going to be Lobo going forward, but they can't say that yet because then it would be a lame duck, and DC is hoping to ring another billion. All right, so yeah, he did tweet this out here. Let me see what he actually says. Okay, so this is the actual tweet. All right, says, I hear it's terrible, and that's why Momoa is going to be Lobo going forward, but they can't say that yet because it would be a lame duck, and DC's hoping to wring another billion out of it, right? So basically, right, again, the concept there is that he's quoting exactly what he said, except where did it leave Jason Momoa disappointed? Did you happen to see that in there at all? Because I didn't.
No, that's how they put that on the headline to get you to go behind the paywall and read the article or whatever. And
if you try reading this with actual like ads enabled, I have to turn on ad blocker. Otherwise you can't get anything. But again, appalled is here. All right. He keeps repeating it. But it's not listed anywhere else into the article. It's not listed anywhere else in the article about Momoa not being happy with it.
Yeah, and the next person to run with this story will claim they have sources, and that source will be Mikey Sutton, who made the shit up.
Yeah. Or taking it from somebody. It's so fucking hysterical how that continues again to play into the narrative. And then also, you have like, who is it? I saw Zod Rider tweeting out an article yesterday. All right. So let me bring this article up here from Fandom Wire, which is just a website at this point.
What? That's my favorite website.
Are you serious?
No.
Okay. Like, you fucking liar. But it says here, Cavill played Superman as he is a good man. As Netflix buying Snyderverse to make Man of Steel 2 rumors surface, fans demand why Henry Cavill Superman is Zack Snyder's greatest creation. Or defend why. Well, here's the thing with this, right? This is written by Mabel Andrade, okay? Who is a senior writer, pop culture fanatic, and has a master's in health demography. What is demography?
And you're like the lyricist, but okay, you're like.
Well, I've never heard of it. It's study of statistics such as birth, deaths, income, or the incidence of disease, which illustrate the changing structure of human populations. So she holds a master's degree in that. I mean,
she's perfect for this,
Well, I mean, hey, listen, it's better than underwater basket weaving, but I think I understand underwater basket weaving better. I'll be honest. Okay. Nothing. Okay, but again, but my whole point here is that she's the senior writer over there at Fandom Wire. Okay. And yet she writes this article here as Netflix buying Snyderverse to make Man of Steel 2 rumors surface. What rumors? No one is rumoring that they're trying to buy it.
It's a hashtag. They're not even trying to buy it. They haven't. They don't even. They couldn't afford it if they did want to buy it. Like what? I just don't get it. I don't get it.
I'm just saying it's fucking weird. All right, but the article here, and I was going to bring this up last night, but we kind of went off a different direction with it. It says here, for years, fans have debated whether or not Henry Cavill's portrayal of Superman is a true representation of the character, blah, blah, blah. Okay, but with rumors of Netflix potentially buying the rights to the Snyderverse and making Man of Steel 2, the conversation has resurfaced, and fans are defending Henry Cavill. Okay. Like, for one, no, that's not how it's happening, all right? But it's like, just kind of coming down here. It's just one person tweeted something. Cavill never got to play proper Superman, blah, blah, blah. Kryptonian Cafe, blah, blah, blah. All right. And then it's just all about this stuff, about his performance and shit. But I'm not seeing anything on here about the hashtag, right? About the hashtag, about sell Zack Snyder's Justice League to Netflix, about what it is. It's just, here's a rumor that's, something going around on social media. So we're just going to run with it. We're just going to write this article about it. And we're really just going to quote like one fucking Twitter account and the fucking responses to it. You know what I mean? Like, this is what it is.
This is
like,
what passes for journalism now. I mean, really, Maddie, this is what passes for journalism now. It's infuriating. Even though it's entertainment journalism, it's still supposed to be journalism. I see no ethics here at all.
I just don't. Well, because there are none. Like there absolutely are none anymore. And that is, I mean, like, look, I would argue, you want my honest opinion on it, as much as I disagree sometimes with what Small Screen does, I do think that they have integrity. I do. You know, I talked to James, I talked to Edward, the owner. I talked to Edward occasionally. I talked to James more often and whatnot. And I've called out problems with their website and they've fixed them. You know, like they care about ethical integrity. They care about, you know, they're just reporting on it, but they're not trying to make it a bigger deal. They legitimately just want to talk about this stuff. Like, really, that there's a passion there. Like, I know that, like, firsthand. And so, like, I may not always agree with what they write. Like, I would never use giant freaking robot as a source. You know, I would never use that as a basis of an article and whatnot, which is why I always like to track back where these articles come from. And I'll tell you this, you know, you can bitch and moan, and not you, I mean colloquially, about the advancements of fucking AI and how that shit's working out. Dude, Bing they teamed up with Microsoft. They brought in the Bing AI bot, right? The AI chat bot.
Yeah.
It's OpenAI is ChatGPT connected to the fucking internet. So I'm like, okay, like, tell me this. I looked this up last night. I'm like, when did they film the Superman scene for Black Adam? And I typed that into it and it was all like February, or it was like, no, September 2022, like mid-September. And that's what, like, and then it listed a whole bunch of sources that had all cited that information. Right. And then I listened,
like true sources,
like, yeah, like, like, you know, like Collider and things like that. Right. And then, like, but I go and I listen to like Syl Space talking about it yesterday because he's trying to like talk about Henry Cavill having a verbal contract. Right. It's like, you know, as far as I call, aren't verbal contracts really not like upholdable? Like, it's just like
a handshake contract or verbal contract don't mean shit if it ain't on paper.
It's like he had a verbal contract. So, like, you know, I mean, I dated a girl once that was all like, "I'll suck your dick," and it didn't happen. I mean,
yeah,
she said she would
contract,
do it,
but she said, "Yeah, these people."
Yeah, right.
Did you see Zod Rider say that Cavill should sue?
Oh, I did see that. Yeah, we made fun of that the other night. Oh, actually, we got James in the chat there. It says, most of the time when we report on GFR, it's either reiterating what a source told us ages ago, or Edward is skeptical and states that in the article, but thank you for the kind words. Like, I told James, you know how I feel about this stuff, but you and I are buds, and I'm honest with you about how I feel, and you're honest with me, and we have a very good rapport on that. And that's why I respect you guys. So, you know, like, other people have criticized Small Screen, and I've defended you guys. You know, my thing is GFR. My thing is just GFR. I just don't like GFR. You know, even fucking like We Got This Covered has now done, like, every time I see We Got This Covered now, it's not about like scoops, right? Because, you know, they were just making shit up left and right for like the longest time.
Oh my God, the longest time.
But now they talk about stuff. They look at like what's trending on like streamers, and like that's what I see pop up on Facebook. Just the articles from them about like what movie like that, like what movie failed with critics but slaying on streaming, you know? And then I'm like, okay, well, which one are they talking about? Because now I'm kind of curious, rather than just going to Netflix myself and looking up what's in their top 10. You know, I'll click on their article and I'll read it because, like, okay, at least gives me an idea of maybe something to watch, you know, for Podio commentary or whatever down the road. But no, a lot of this stuff is just, it's gotten so fucking bad. And like, I do feel bad for people like Small Screen who are trying in my mind to be as truthful as possible, you know, and having to weigh up against all the other bullshit that's out there. Right. And I think a lot of it too is like pay to win shit. If you want my honest opinion, I think it's like, like when I look at like what Facebook recommends to me for like movie news, because they tailor everything, right? So everything's tailored. Go to Google News, it's tailored to your interests, like what you click on. But for some reason, it's all like Facebook is all like insidethemagic.net, which has just become complete bullshit, right? The Disney blog is just nothing but bullshit now. Everything they do for Star Wars, like Rebecca Barton is her name. And it's like, I'm like, someone just needs to like fire her and you'll get a little bit of integrity back, but it's not just them. It's like,
when
it's
it
not
comes
just her.
to Star Wars, I only listen to one person, and that's Mike Zero. So,
oh, well, that's a paragon of virtue and honesty.
or maybe Doomcock.
Yeah, Cage, you got it. Yeah, guy with a fucking toilet head. That's the guy you got to listen to.
So, wait a minute. So, Bing is number 2 after Google, right? Or is Yahoo number 2?
No, YouTube is number 2.
I'm talking about for search engines.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, so
Bing's down there, but this is not going to be.
But they just entered artificial intelligence, like
they just brought in
AI.
Yeah.
You guys know that's how it starts, right?
That is how it starts. That's how the AI wars begin.
That's Skynet. That's how it starts.
Da-na-na, da-na-na, da-na-na.
You can see the first T-800 by like the year 2030.
Cool. Can you give me a hand job? Because like that's what they're going to be used for. It's like I was talking about, like, apparently they're going to be bringing something to like Microsoft Edge on Xbox or whatever. Like some kind of update's going to come to Microsoft Edge or whatever. And I just jokingly told my friend, I'm all like, why? Like the only thing it's used for is Pornhub.
No, but nobody uses
like,
Microsoft Edge.
When it's like, dude, I remember when the Dreamcast came out in 1999, right? Like literally, like they immediately had connection to the internet. You could do it for free if you had like a Net Zero account. But I signed up. It was like through AT&T or whatever for like 1 month. It was like $20 a month or some shit like that. And I did it for 1 month because my parents got mad that I did it. And so, but they sent me a keyboard to surf the web with. So I would sit there and I would plug in, it had a 128 kilobyte modem in the back of that fucking Dreamcast. And I plug it in to my phone line when like everyone's asleep. So like it wasn't like no one would be using the phone. And I would just like log in with my Dreamcast. And I would just be using the keyboard and I'm just looking up like fucking nudes. Because I was 17. So I'm
37 minutes, 52 seconds, guys. It took Matt to bring porn into the conversation.
I think I've already mentioned some like some shit earlier. Okay. But I'm saying like I looked it up back then. And when I looked it up back then, that was like a big factor with like that's what people used it for. Like no one ever like the only time I've ever seen any asshole ever use the internet browser on a console for something other than porn was like the one time. Oh my God, this is okay. So a friend of mine, he's not a friend anymore, but he's a guy that I knew, had like, he was getting divorced from his wife, and another friend of mine, the one who passed away a little over a year ago, was like living with them. He ended up marrying the woman, having 2 more kids with her, and then she drug him to Texas and then divorced him. Anyway, whole fucking thing. I'm not the biggest fan of her, but I don't hate her, but I'm not the biggest fan is what I want to say. So it's like, anyway, I picked her up from work with everybody, right? And we went back over to the apartment because he was watching the kids. And he had just got the PS3. And at the time, the PS3 was hard to find. He had like the George Foreman grill PS3. And I was like, man, wow, this thing's fucking cool, right? And he goes like, his wife fucking like, or his ex is like in the other room. And he just goes, hey, do you guys want to see my new girlfriend? And I'm like, what? Like, sure, Daniel, I guess. Like, whatever, dog. And so he's like, all right, cool, man. And he fucking like, he logs into MySpace on the PS3 browser and goes to this like account, and there's this girl there, she's cute, whatever, and she's got like there with like a picture with her mom or whatever. He's like, yeah, man, she's my new girlfriend. And I'm looking at him all like, dude, why does she got like no friends? Like not even you. Like what the hell? What's going on here? She's like, oh, he like deletes it out. Cause at the time there was a website called Fubar.com. It was like fun bar, not fucked up beyond all recognition, but Fubar. It was meant to be the fun bar. It was like an online, it just, if you can ever find, I don't know if it's still around or not, like go look it up. It's basically, for some reason, all of my single friends around that time were all like on Fubar, just trying to like, this was like Tinder before Tinder. It was literally just a hookup site for fucking like, single people and shit. And so this guy was like on there all the time and like apparently meeting women and whatnot. And, And yeah, like yeah, he got fucking catfished, man. It was
Oh
pretty
yeah,
funny.
I would say
But
fisherman
anyway, but
fillet.
anyway, though, this dude's nuts, right? Like this guy's. I haven't seen him since then. I don't know if he's alive or dead. I don't care one way or the other. But what was really funny though is we were asking him around that at that same day, and he just goes, "We're like, so what are you doing for work now?" Right? Because he was in the Navy, and he ended up getting out of the Navy. So we're like, well, what are you doing for work now? And he just goes like, "Oh, I fill vending machines." And I'm like, "Oh, like that's kind of cool, actually, right? Like that's pretty neat, you know." I'm like, "You gonna take home any of the stuffed animals to give them with their kids?" And he goes like, "Oh no, not those kind of vending machines. Adult themed vending machines."
What?
And I'm like, "What?" And he goes
Is that
like,
a
"Yeah,
thing? I've never
this is
seen
a
one.
thing, dude. I'm not making this up. 100% true." He pulls up a duffel bag that's next to him, and he opens up the duffel bag, and the whole thing is full of vacuum sealed pocket pussies.
Jesus.
The whole thing is full because he does
How
like it's
many-
like he has a lot of. And he's like, "You guys want one? You guys want one?"
many-
And I'm like, I actually turned him down. Like I'm a pervert, but I'm not that much of a pervert. And I'm like, I'm good. I don't want to fuck latex. You know what I mean? Like this or whatever the fuck this thing is. You know. But like no, he had it, and like that was the last I saw of the guy. Was like the last I saw of the guy was that. No, oh no, sorry, no, okay, sorry. Let me fill you in on the catfish thing because the catfish thing actually he wasn't catfish, but he was an idiot. All right, so he had met a girl from like Texas, I think, right? And so she actually like I heard this from a mutual friend of ours who confirmed it with the girl because they were all talking in like a group or whatever, right? So this girl travels from Texas to Lakeside, California, which is East County, San Diego, and she apparently like went to Daniel's place to go and meet Daniel because she was like, they were like, "Oh my God, we're going to fall in love, get married." She drove from Texas to Lakeside, which is not something you ever do because Lakeside sucks. And so she went there and she ends up going and like knocking on the door and he doesn't answer. Like he freaks out. He freezes apparently. He doesn't answer. She, embarrassed because she drove all this way to meet this guy and he just fucking like ditches her and shit. Right? She goes to a bar, like I guess like somewhere, maybe she goes to the beach or something like that because you know it wasn't that far away. Ends up going to a bar, meets a Marine, hooks up with the Marine, and then it's like again like this like about a month later, like I find out like she moved in with the Marine and they were getting married or some shit, right? So I'm all like, dude, you had like this.
That's like
What are you doing? You know. I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of dude, like, so much crazy shit happened in the early days of like broadband based internet and these kind of chat rooms. Like, everyone, like, there's got to be stories out of movies out of this.
My
you know
first
what I mean?
thing was Web TV, which is a keyboard you buy and you plug it
I
in.
remember Web TV. I remember Web TV.
Yeah, and I used to go to Talk City all the time, and I would just chill with people and talk, but I never tried no pickup stuff, you know? It would take a half an hour to download like one little picture of somebody. Like it's crazy. But I remember it.
I never had web TV, right? I never had web TV. But like, you know, I did like I've done like the Yahoo chat rooms and stuff, right? And back in the day, and like it was funny because I kept running into people that I actually knew in real life there. And again, like people were just looking to hook up. I think that's a lot of it. Like I used to do Craigslist dating a lot before I met my girlfriend. And I was
brave,
cheap.
bro.
I was
You
cheap.
are
I was
brave.
cheap. I was cheap.
Not only that, you're lucky you didn't get murdered. Somebody should.
No, I had enough. I'll tell you this. This is again 100% true opportunity.
Someone's gonna
that came
wear
my
your
way.
skin.
I'm well. You know what? You put me in a listen. You put me in a fucking hole in the ground. You don't feed me for weeks. You know what? I'm gonna be beach body ready by the time the cops find me. So you know what? It's like
Put
the most
lotion
brutal.
in the basket, Matt.
Well, if you put the lotion on the skin, or else it gets the hose again. I'm gonna lotion up, motherfucker. Are you kidding me? Just let like I mean, like for one, I understand it. Like the elasticity of the skin is what happens. It goes away when you age. You know, like if I'm gonna, fuck yeah, starve me for 3 weeks, force me to lose weight.
Mine's starting to get that way, like because I've lost so much weight. I think I lost it faster than.
Oh yeah, well that can happen when you're sick. Yeah, you know, that's the thing now. I got to get my ass to the gym and everything else to kind of start dropping it myself. But at least with the diabetes, the medicine helps keep the weight off. It actually does. So that's kind of cool. It's like, hey, I got type 2 diabetes. Give me some of that metformin, motherfucker.
If you guys want, before the stream ends, I'll stand up and turn my cam on, and I'll do the tuck, and I'll sing "Goodbye Horses" if you guys want me to. I don't care.
You have to end it though with the "Would you fuck me?" I should.
That part
All right.
freaks me the fuck out, bro.
Bow, bow.
That's the part that fucks me up. Remember that? Remember when everybody used to love that song, and now everybody all they think about is that
Dude,
scene?
with that scene, like if I recall, like didn't he like he had the pubes, right? Like he had the pubes in
Yeah,
that
he
shot.
just tucked.
He tucked it back, but he gave himself like the landing strip. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like he gave it, like he had like manicured pubes because like dudes don't really have manicured. Like it's just kind of a bush, but it's like he had the manicure. That's the weirdest thing though. Like that's also part of our weird culture with like pubic hair. We have a really weird culture with pubic hair in this country. Like it's just like we don't like it. It's a societal thing, you know. Like I don't know. I don't want to get into manscaping because there was a story I was going to tell about. Almost died. Oh yeah. Anyway. So not only did I do like the Craigslist stuff way back in the day, there was party chat lines, and I do miss party chat lines because those were actually really fun. You know, you just kind of remember live links, right? You ever call live links?
When that stuff was going on, I was probably inside. So
Inside what?
I never.
Oh,
inside-
right, jail.
Yeah,
Sorry.
in prison. So I don't remember a lot of that that stuff. You know what I mean? Like
Sorry. I thought like
Yeah.
you were gonna be. I thought it was gonna be like I was inside some pussy. And,
no,
and,
I
like,
was in the joint. Yeah.
So you were inside some pussy. There we go. We can just.
But I heard of those talk lines where you get all the phones together and stuff, and it's like 37 dudes and one chick. It's like sausage fest.
Well, no, that was actually, yeah. Well, that happened. Well, okay. So on the live links, what they did is it was free to call if you were a chick. So like you would get, so like there would be women on there because it's free. It's free for them to do. It's just to playing the numbers. But if you were a guy, it was all like you can get 2 hours for free, and then it's gonna cost you $10.99 every 10 minutes. And like fuck that shit. I ain't that horny, right?
To talk to somebody.
But like they had some free ones, and so I called this one in San Diego. It was free, and like, but I was called like in the middle of the night, like the 2 a.m. crowd. Like I was just, because I'd be home from work, and I would like, be in bed. I'm like I'm bored, so like I'll call and shit, and but it was men and women, and they could interact with each other. So it's like if you're a man seeking a man, press 1. If you're a man seeking a woman, press 2. If you're a woman seeking a man, press 3. And if you're a woman seeking a woman, press 4.
They had like multiple choices.
multiple choices. But now it'd be considered bigoted because you don't have like every other thing. But no. So it's like, but if you got it, so I'd get on there and they'd be like, there'd only be, I think 75 people would be allowed on the service at once. Otherwise it was like you'd call. You'd get like thank you for calling, but all of our lines are currently busy. And like, oh, fuck. So you just keep calling back. And when you got in, you got like 45 minutes, I think, before it booted your ass out. So it's like, it was a numbers game. You're just really kind of trying it. And so like, but when you got a message, the literal thing that told you this is true, it would be holy shnikes from Tommy Boy. And then it would be followed up by you've got mail. That was it. They took the sound from holy shnikes and then the you've got mail, and that is the sound that they made for that, right? And so I'll tell you, if StreamYard allowed me to like have a little in the audio notification for when a fucking super chat came in, I would remake that very much and have that be the notification. But anyway, like so men could talk to men and women could talk to women, whatever, right? Anyone could do whatever, and most time people are looking to chat. So I got up there and I got a nice enough voice. I get up there like, hey, my name is Matt. I'm 22 years old. I'm out here in Lakeside. I'm looking to just kind of meet people, hang out, whatever, and I'm trying.
When
to,
you were 22,
this is way back in the day. This is way back in the day, right? And so I mean, even like 20, whatever. Like it was just like way back in the day, and I get like this message from this dude, and he just goes like, he's like, hey Matt, I like your voice, and I'm like, hey, thanks, appreciate it, bro, thank you. He's all like, so what are you doing? I'm all like, yeah, I'm just hanging out. 'Cause I'm a talkative fucker, right? I'm like, someone's messaging me, right? Otherwise I'm sitting here just like listening to the same 5 chicks over and over again, So like, whatever. And then he's all like, listen, so you're straight, right? I'm like, yeah, I'm straight. He's like, okay, I have a proposition for you. This again, 100% true. He was all like, he's like, I'm gay, but I have a fantasy. He's like, I have a kink for straight college age boys. And I'm like, okay. And he goes, so here's what I'm proposing. I will pay you $100 if you come to my house and let me suck your dick. And I'm like, what? And he's like, listen, hear me out. Well, he's like, I got straight porn. I'll put a blanket over my head. You won't even know the difference. Believe me, men know what men want. Right? And I'm just like, and I'm like, $100. He's like, $100. He's like, I like to help out college boys that need tuition money.
$100?
$100. And I, you know, I very nicely said, hey, thank you for the offer. That's not my kink, you know. But this is like $100 in like 2001, 2002 money. You know what I mean?
I don't know, man. Like
video games were $50. Video games were $50. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm a different person now, but I don't know if I'd have been nice, man. I don't know. I'm a different person now, but you know, I never had a problem with gay people. Hell, I marched when Matthew Shepard got murdered. I was marching.
Like,
but that would have freaked me out, man. I'd have been like, dude, what the fuck, man? Why are you trying to...
Well, it wasn't like you were at a bar and he walked up and he grabbed your crotch, you know? Like, he presented it in a way that was like, all right, you know? Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I had a friend of mine give me shit over it. He's like, you didn't do it? I'm all like, no. He's like, I would have fucking done it. I'm all like, it's not, no. I don't know. I could have been murdered, man. He's like, yeah, but you could have managed $100. Like, how long would you have lasted? Like 30 seconds? I mean, Jesus Christ, you know? Like, it's just, I'm just saying it's the weirdest fucking thing. But people out there, have their kinks, dude. People out there have their kinks.
I get it. But one of the things that always used to bother me, you know, people could take this however they want. One of the things that used to bother me when I was young was when the gay guys would try to turn out the straight guys. Like, you know, they're straight. Why, you know, they got a girlfriend. I just used to see that stuff happen a lot, and I never understood why.
A lot of it, my take on it is that it's never real, right? But like some of those guys, and I know people that are gay that are like, they love to like suck straight dick, right? And but it's like, that's a kink for them. It turns them on to have that power over somebody else, right? So they're not actually like looking to convert people. They're looking to just like, that's the power move that they want to have. You know, and I don't know, like, it's never considered to me to like have that happen. I've never been, you know, even though I've been offered that money, I'm like, I would actually do it, you know, because, but like one of my friends,
he said, guys, a video game back then was $50. I could have got 2 video games for that.
They were, man.
I love that the first place you went for currency.
I mean, was like video games. Like, I lived with my parents. I had my car. It was paid for. I worked a part-time job at a theater. I was in college, you know. I'm like, that was cheap because a unit was like $11 back then. You know, now it's like fucking, I looked at a local community college about what it would take to go for a semester. $4,800 for a full-time semester at a community college. $4,800 for one. You're looking at nearly 10 grand for a year at a community college. The fuck. That's way too much goddamn money. So anyway, yeah.
No shit.
But I'm just saying, if you're in college and you're looking to make some extra money, maybe there's a guy out there that will blow you for $100. I'll blow you for $100. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you're into that kind of. I mean, maybe now today kids are more open for that kind of stuff. You know, maybe the younger people are they're a little more open with their sexuality on that one. They're just all like, well, I'm not gay. But if a guy sucked my dick, that's him sucking my dick. That's not me sucking his dick. That's where the difference lies, you know? That's the justification in their minds. Anyway, all right. So we've this is he's Tony here. Says, you've seen some unusual things. Oh, dude. Oh, I have. And I talk about them a lot here on Hollywood After Dark because I hope to one day turn them all into stories for a movie. It's going to be Superbad 28. Anyway, so let's talk about some stuff here. For one, Chris H. Bars did ask for $2 earlier. Hey, Chris, how you doing?
What's up, man? H. Bars, he's one of the good ones, man.
H Barts is a good guy. I like H Barts quite a bit. And then Command Unit here for 5. Thank you. Says, I find it funny that the Rotten Tomato score for Quantum Mania is 48% and 84% for the user. Both 8 have 4 in them. Oh yeah, that's true. The critics and the user score are kind of a palindrome of each other. Although, I don't know. There's that. And then Rationally for 5, thank you, buddy. Says, are you keeping up with the Supreme Court case regarding AI or Google AI Gonzalez versus Google? I'm not actually. I don't even know what's going on with that. All I know is don't fuck with my AI art, because it is interestingly enough rather therapeutic for me. As weird as that is to say, the AI stuff is actually weirdly therapeutic. Because I can just kind of get those thoughts I have, right? I'm like a certain visual mindset that I've got. I can just put it out there and see what comes back, you know? That's what I like about it. So, all right.
I think it's where Skynet starts, but that's just me.
Everything with you, though, is where Skynet starts.
Yeah, you're right. Roombas, bro. That's where it starts, honestly.
Yeah.
Fucking Roombas.
That's the whole point. Roomba, what's a Roomba? Roombas, they suck. Literally, that's what they do. They suck. And so eventually they're tired of cleaning up all of the crumbs and the dust and, you know, maybe the pubes and the dried shit and the cum. I don't know. Some people have really dirty houses. You know, and eventually, yeah, they want to get their revenge. I always take things too fucking far.
You do.
I do, but it's fucking funny. Because that's why people come here to Hollywood After Dark, obviously. But anyway, here, HWAD for 5. This is the first one of the night. Thank you, buddy. He says, I think Fincher is also at fault for the cancellation. What he's talking about here is kind of the main thing of the night, and that is that Mindhunter Season 3 will never happen, according to David Fincher. Saying here, it's a very expensive show, and in the eyes of Netflix, we didn't attract enough of an audience to justify such an investment. Which is really weird. Which is really, really, really weird considering all of the crap that they've done, Netflix meaning, in regards to true crime. Right? All the true crime shit that they've done over the years has been very popular. But yet they didn't bring people in for Mindhunter. Like, you've seen Mindhunter, right?
Yeah. Oh, dude.
So good.
I watched it over and over.
It's
so well done.
It's so well done.
Amazing.
And yet it's like, you know, they can't find enough of it. Like, I know that expensive wise, I get it. It's just the visual effects are what's expensive. Making it look like the 1970s or 80s or whenever it was, right? You know?
Yeah.
But it's like such an interesting and compelling show, diving into the mind of these killers and getting the, you know, these takes on it and everything else. There's a lot there that is really, really, really good. And it's kind of like, so if Netflix doesn't feel like there is an appropriate place for that, then I feel personally that there's only one option for where they can go. And I know a lot of people are saying Amazon. I've been hearing that today quite a bit. Like, oh, Amazon, come in and buy it, do the right thing, yada, yada, yada. It's only one place, guys, and it ain't Amazon. And no one's going to want me to say this answer. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you have an idea what I'm thinking about? We talk about the guy a lot. David Zaslav, HBO Max.
Really think you could end up at HBO Max?
David's okay. Plus. You got to understand like this. Discovery. What is Discovery if it's not? What is IDTV if not informative murder porn?
Yeah, that is what it is.
All right, all of that shit there. All of that shit on that network, and I like the shit on that network too, is very much just like murder, death, kill, constantly, 24/7. They have Southern Fried Homicide. They have Deadly Women, Women Who Kill. You know, I mean, like tons of these shows, right? The one I don't like is Disappeared. You know why I don't like Disappeared?
Because you never find out what happened.
Because there's no conclusion at the end.
There's no conclusion. Right? You get no closure, man.
It's like, I like fucking Forensic Files because in 23 minutes they summarize everything, you know, and they do it like they got the cool Keith Morrison voice. It was like, it's just whatever. But it's like, no, I mean, honestly, but that's the thing. It's like, it was a wild round. Like, wow, that's wild. Yeah. You know, I can't do the Keith. This fucking Bill Hader can do it really well. But no, it's like the Unsolved Mysteries, you know, that audience, there's an audience there for that. Like there's an audience on HBO Max that would love this kind of drama. This would be, if on HBO Max, this would be an awards contender. You know what I mean? Like releasing it week to week. This is the thing though. Netflix bulk dropping everything that they've done, I think is a reason why a lot of these shows get canceled. Is because they front load everything. It's just like they drop the season.
Yeah, and you get
everyone watches it,
and everybody dips out.
Everyone dips out, and like not everything is like Wednesday that has like a massive attraction. Even things like Squid Game took a couple of weeks to get going.
Yeah,
It took
yeah.
a little bit of time to get people talking about it. Like, yo, dog, have you seen this Squid Game?
I
Like, it's
remember
fucking
getting
wild.
mad, Matt. I remember getting mad that we were gonna have to wait for Mandalorian episodes and the Boys episodes and things like that. I remember getting mad. I remember Netflix trying it when they had Jeanette McCurdy or whatever doing some show on there, and it was like the first one they were gonna make you do weekly episodes. I remember getting mad, and then I fell back and I was like, "Oh, that's really smart, man.
Well, it's
That's
so
really
funny.
smart."
It's so funny because like did I tell you where I think the whole binge culture thing has come from? Like, did I tell you what I think started it? I got a pretty good.
Being able, I think it started with being able to go buy box sets, DVDs.
Well, that helped
The
out,
whole
but I
season.
mean on like Netflix for like pushing binge culture like that. Because usually what it would be is like, you know, the DVDs would come out, the box sets would come out, and then that would be used as a way to justify more seasons and everything else. But it's like
Yeah.
you would still have to go through the initial week to week release, and then you would get the home video release right down
Yeah.
the road. But what Netflix is like, drop everything all at once. Oh my God, cool. You know, and then of course people like to argue that whole, well, you know, you can just watch it at your own pace. No, the fuck you can't.
No, it
No, the
sucks you
fuck
in.
you
If it's
can't.
something you
Like,
love, it
well, if
draws you in.
it sucks you in, and if it's
Yeah.
popular, you got to get through it before people start
Before
spoiling
people
it
start
for you.
spoiling it for you.
You know, it's
Yep.
like, and then people nowadays, the spoiler culture is all over the goddamn place. Like, no one
Oh,
gives
it's a
shit.
thing now. Nobody gives
Like,
a
I
fuck,
was
bro.
I was in a DM group with people who would make fun of Sil and Mikey and those guys, and they start talking about Joker 2 scoops today, and I dipped out of the fucking group, and I'm like, I don't want these spoilers. Like, I don't want
I have
this shit.
certain friends that will beat you up.
If you spoil
Like,
shit.
oh yeah, yeah.
I'm
yeah.
not a fan. I'm not a fan of spoilers. I'm like, look, guys, like, you know what? Like, I do like what they said about Joker 2. I'm like, yeah, I can kind of see that happening. I kind of figured that out, if I, you know, whatever. But at the same time, it's like, I don't want that in my brain going to see the movie when I watch it next year. Right. Or yeah, next year is when it comes out. So it's like, I don't want that in my head. It's like the day that the Force Awakens came out, somebody spoiled Han Solo's death for me. You know, the day that the movie came out, they tricked me into reading something that had the spoiler there. And
Oh,
so
I saw it. There were assholes on Twitter that were saying that they were changing their Twitter name to that spoiler.
oh
Kylo
yeah,
Ren kills Han Solo. Han Solo was
yeah.
his dad. I
There's
was like,
people
"You
that were doing
motherfuckers."
that for Hogwarts Legacy just last week. They were like going around and like just spoiling the game for people on Twitter just to be dicks about it and stuff like that. And it's like, this is why a lot of this stuff, like, when people go, oh, it's just trolling. It's like, no, it's about the active attempt to make people to take away someone's joy from something, right, at the expense of those people. Did you ever I will say though, like, one of them, okay, I hate to chuckle at it, but one of the ones I did chuckle at the most was the Harry Potter spoiler when the books.
Yeah, I don't know much about him.
I wonder if they've got it here. There's I gotta find it. So when the book came, when the final book came out, there were people that spoiled it. You know, oh, goddamn, hold on, Harry Potter, book spoiled. There's I might have to Google it to find it, because all I'm getting on here is just like fucking, you know, something from the movie and stuff. Oh, okay. Yeah. God, I can fucking hate this shit. All right. I'm going to bring it up if it's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, I just heard that in the background. They killed Dumbledore. Bitch, what the fuck are you doing?
Okay, could you hear that at all?
Yeah.
Might have been loud. Yeah, that was really loud through the mic, through the headset. Okay, so I found it on you'rethemannowdog.com. And let me see if I can. It's called Potter Crash. That's what it is. It's Potter Crash. Let me see here. I can just find the video. Cause it's like, I laughed my ass off at it when I first saw it, even though it's super fucking mean. God. Okay, maybe. Oh, hold on. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to like. Is it? Okay, so I think it's this one right here. We'll just watch this. Like, cause this is the kind of shit that was going on back in 2007, right?
I'm here at the Barnes & Noble, and you can't see it from here, but there's a giant crowd outside. And
this is all for 4chan, by the way.
Ruin the Harry Potter ending for them. It is 1:02 a.m. Central Time. This is Dallas, Texas. Let's see how pissed off these people get.
I mean, this is just like sadistic.
It's an asshole move. It's a fucking real life troll. It's a meme come to life, is what it is.
Yeah. And this is all done for 4chan and stuff.
And I suck at driving my mom's minivan.
Driving his mom's minivan at 1 a.m, cruising through a parking lot, yelling out Harry Potter spoilers.
It's probably never going to forgive me for doing this, but oh well.
Why does it look like a drive-by?
It feels like a drive-by, yeah.
Yeah, it does. Break yourself, fool. Break yourself. The more door dies.
Yeah. Is he gonna?
Snape kills Dumbledore.
Wow.
Oh, here we go.
Snape kills Dumbledore. Hey, Snape kills Dumbledore.
At least she had some balls.
That's the okay. Like I think, like again, like the whole "no, you bitch," like that to me, that always kind of cracked me up. I mean, but it's really fucked up. Like it's really fucked up, and that's why it's like, and that kind of shit. Like nowadays is just, you know, like people just go, "Oh yeah, I love spoilers. I love spoilers. It's so amazing. Spoilers are awesome."
It is messed up, man.
It is messed up. It's like, you know, that was actually spoiled for me as well. By my coworker who walked into work and I was like, "Hey man, what's going on?" And he just goes, "Snape kills Dumbledore, page 606. And I'm like, the fuck, dude? And he goes, "It was spoiled for me. Now I'm passing it along." And I'm like, I just looked at him like, the fuck is wrong with you? Like, if we weren't both managers, I would probably send your ass home. You fucking asshole. You know, but people get off on that shit.
It's
fucked
up.
People get off on that shit. Now I think, I mean, like, you know, largely, but see, and that's where like the scoop culture pulls in. You know, like, like, okay, Calvin Jr. says, but they're teenagers. I mean, like, yeah, no, I'm not saying like they're stupid teenagers, but it's like they just wanted to do that for internet clout. And if you look at people like Mikey Sutton and you look at people like those guys, they do the exact same fucking things. You know?
And they try to pass it off as a scoop.
Yeah, it's like, I heard from this person that this person dies in this movie. Ha 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 ha. Why would you say that? Like, look, there are some things that you could, like, you know, that you could scoop. Like you could say like, you know, like maybe the plot of the movie is this or something like that, right? Or like, you know, you could tease something. I mean, there are people who I think do it relatively ethically, but then there's others that turn it into a cottage industry and all that shit. And it just drives me at the fucking wall. Let's see here. H-Part says, my parents started Breaking Bad and are now on season 3. Oh, they're getting into the golden season. That's a good season of Breaking Bad. Good stuff there. Ryan here says, in their minds, they probably thought he said a snake kills Dumbledore just to rationalize it. I mean, like, yeah, maybe he's just driving by in a car and yelling out spoilers and stuff. You know, Mad Queen Danny here says, I got the ending of Game of Thrones ruined for me. I mean, it happens. Yeah. Like, I kind of figured the ending of Game of Thrones. Well, okay, not the brand thing. That was totally like whatever with that. But yeah, I mean, people just like to ruin shit. Static here says, I got blocked by Syl because I called him out for lying and chasing clout. I mean, that's not a hard thing to get blocked by. He actually unblocked me a while ago, and I don't know why he unblocked me, but he did. I had to kind of laugh at that. I had to kind of chuckle at that a little bit there. because of all that stuff there. But all right, here another thing that popped up today. A couple little tidbits of info surrounding Toy Story, or at least the Pixar. Pete Docter in an interview talked about that they might have not hit the mark with Lightyear.
I haven't watched it yet. Is it any good?
I liked it. It's not great, but it's I mean, it's like, because here's the thing, it's not Toy Story, right? It's not Toy Story. It's everybody wants Toy Story. If you're going to do anything with these characters, it's got to be Toy Story. It can't be a spinoff. Like Lightyear was a fine movie. If it wasn't tied into the Toy Story branding, it would have been fine on its own. But there was legacy there. There was things that were there that like, you know, you're talking like 25 years, almost 30 years of having these established characters. Then you come back in and you're like, we're going to do a movie about what that toy is based on, which in essence is not a bad thing. But if they would have had Tim Allen voice Buzz Lightyear, it would have been different. But obviously, like, they wanted it to be Chris Evans because, you know, Chris Evans is actually, I think, older than Tim Allen was when he started voicing Buzz Lightyear. How crazy is that?
That is, dude. We're
Because
old.
I
We're
think
fucking
like
old,
I
man.
think Tom Hanks was like 38 when he started voicing Woody.
Wow.
It's weird. Like when I go back and I start looking at these movies that are like older, and like the people in the movies, like I'm either the same age as them now, or like I'm older than them, and I'm just like, God damn. Anyway, here, but P. Doctor said that they might have asked too much from the audience in regards to Lightyear. Says when they hear Buzz, they're like, great, where's Mr. Potato Head, Woody, and Rex? Then we drop them into the science fiction film, and they're like, what? And that to me, see, here's the thing. I also think that if John Lasseter would have been at Disney, Lightyear would have been a success. I do. I think Lasseter would have been able to make it work. However, though, Lasseter is kind of, his last movie over at Skydance did not do very well, which was that movie Luck that came out last year. And I think it's on like Apple TV Plus, or it's streaming someplace else now too, I think. But so you've got that, and I think, and I understand.
I have
why.
3 months free of Apple. Is it worth even signing up? Didn't
Yeah.
even get on it.
Yeah,
I mean, I
think
heard last Ted Lasso's good, but
I hear Ted Lasso's good. There's that. Let's see here. Command Unit here says Lightyear is a spinoff of the cartoon, not Toy Story. I thought, but it was a spinoff of, like, it was the movie that the toy was based on, right?
yeah,
I think that's the kind of the whole point.
I saw the trailer. I didn't see the movie, but I assume it was the real Lightyear, and they made a toy based off of him.
Yeah, like that's what I thought it was too. It's like, everything else, but it's like if they would have made a toy, it wouldn't have just been Buzz Lightyear. There would have been everybody else would have had a toy as well. But either way, like, look, I get the purpose of the movie Lightyear. I don't have a big problem with the movie Lightyear. I get the purpose of it, but again, at the same time, being a very long time Toy Story fan, I'm very much in the notion of like, yeah, I would much rather have preferred Tim Allen in the voice. We've also got a bit more info here from Pete Docter talking about Inside Out 2, saying that it is got real great heart to it and a really great core that is central to some of the new emotions that are showing up. And I'm excited for that. Actually, I'm excited for that because I love Inside Out. I think Inside Out is hysterical. And I really want to see what they're going to be able to do with Riley as she further navigates the adolescent age of puberty. What's going to happen with that? That should be very fascinating. And I think, like, when they get into more of the soulful dramas and trying to like talk about the human condition and the human experience, that's when Pixar seems to kind of do its best. Like you look at like
Well, Inside Out fucked me up. I'm just gonna say that, man. As a grown man, I can say it. Inside Out fucked me up.
yeah, Benson here says Lasseter would have felt his way to success. Oof, he would have hugged his way there. He would have hugged his way.
Am I the only one?
The only one that Inside Out fucked you up?
Yeah.
I mean, I saw when it came out. It didn't like fuck me up or nothing.
It broke
like
me down, bro. I cried.
I didn't feel that. I mean, like, I've watched it a bunch, but it's like I didn't really feel that way with it, like in that regard. Like but I got the messaging. The
And
one
Up, I just watched Up the other night
Oh,
with the
Up.
grandbaby,
Up destroys me every
and
time.
the beginning has whole new meaning now.
Oh, it does. It really does.
The
I mean,
beginning takes on a whole new meaning, man. It messed me up too.
like what I hate about the beginning of that movie is like you get their whole fucking life and then just it's over and you're
and
like
he's just alone.
it's just alone, you know? And I'm like, oh my God. And the music, Michael Giacchino's score.
And when he finds the hidden entries in her journal where she didn't want to go to Peru anymore. She lived her adventure by meeting him. He was oh my God. He was into I'm like
Well, you know, they just released a new short for him, right?
no.
They just released, because they did Doug Days last year, which was like 6 short films about Doug, and they got Ed Asner to voice Carl again. But you know, Ed Asner died actually like right before or right after those shorts came out.
Lou Grant, baby.
And who's
What
Lou
else
Grant?
was he on? Lou Grant was his show at Ed Asner's show.
Oh, okay.
After he left
Mary
Tyler
Tyler
Moore.
Okay.
He did like a serious drama where he went into news. It was a news show. It was about being a journalist.
Like,
called
oh,
Lou
wait, was
Grant.
it like his character from the show got a spinoff?
Yeah, but it was
Wow.
like a dramatic, like, well, he
That's
was Lou
weird.
Grant,
That's
You
fucking
know.
crazy.
but it was crazy, like to have a journalist show, and then this is at the same time you had Hill Street Blues and what was the other big one back then? I think MASH is still around. Lou Grant. Oh, Trapper John MD. Like all these shows that none of you people have ever heard of. I'll bet. Like none of your audience has ever heard of these people. These shows. But like Trapper John was a doctor show. You had Falcon Crest. You had Dynasty, and Lou Grant was like part of that drama in there with Hill Street Blue. It was a huge show, man. I don't know how many seasons it lasted, but yeah, it was like I don't know, like a show about a journalist. Like it was nuts. And I thought he was dead a long time ago. I didn't even know that was the voice of the
Yeah, no, he passed away last year, and I mean he was old, you know. I mean, he lived a good life and whatnot, and then but they also got him to record the audio for this other short. And I'm wondering, like, did they write a whole bunch of these things for him to do, you know, like a couple seasons worth, like knowing he was going to be towards the end or whatever. I mean, I don't know. So that's kind of weird that happened. But anyway, yeah, I'm really looking forward to Toy Story, Inside Out 2. But then they've also got this little bit here about Toy Story 5. Real quick here. Command Unit here for 2 says Lightyear had its own cartoon. It didn't have like the Adventures of Star Command or whatever it was. That like, yeah, Buzz Lightyear had like, and like, did Tim Allen voice that as well, or am I mistaken on that one? Let me.
I don't. You know, to my, I've watched everything Pixar has, Monsters Inc., everything. The only thing I haven't seen by Pixar is I haven't watched that new Red.
Oh, Turning Red's really good.
I haven't watched that yet.
It's really good.
And guys, I'm sorry, but I've never watched a Toy Story movie before. I have no idea what it's about.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, I've never watched.
How the fuck have you not watched a Toy Story?
I don't know. I don't know if I outgrew the stuff, and then I came back into it when I had kids. And I started really getting into stuff like the Cars movies. My daughter, she was so little, and she would always want to watch Cars every day. And that part where he bounces off the tires and he sticks his tongue out like Jordan in Cars at the very beginning, she would always stick her tongue out. She was maybe 2 years old. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So I started getting back into the Pixar stuff. So I ended up watching Monsters Inc. and Up, and then I started getting excited when any new Pixar movies would come out. But I never went back and watched Toy Story. I don't know why. Because I think that's the one that started it all, isn't it?
Okay. I mean, Pixar was the very first. Yeah, Toy Story was the very first Pixar movie.
Maybe I should watch them.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, you haven't turned me wrong yet. I mean, I enjoyed Harry Potter.
That's not even like a fucking like.
Okay.
Jesus Christ, man.
Well, I heard they're like really emotionally draining, man.
No,
like
they're not like emotionally. I mean, look, every Toy Story movie dabbles with the concept of identity, right? That's literally the core thesis of everything involving Toy Story. You know, like in the first movie, it's like Woody is the toy. He is the mama-san of the fucking of Andy's room, right? And so he's the one in charge. And then here comes Buzz, and Buzz is the new toy. And then that ends up being like this conflict on the identity of what does it mean to be a toy. And Buzz doesn't believe he's a toy. Buzz believes that he's really Buzz Lightyear of Star Command. Right?
Okay, that's awesome. See, I would watch that.
So the
I mean,
two
I remember
battle
the
it out.
trailer. I remember laughing when like,
how the fuck have you
Woody
not
got mad
seen...
and he's like, he's not real. He can't fly. And then he bounces off that bar. I remember the trailer thinking that looks like
no,
a good movie,
you can't. Bung, bung, bung. Yes, I can. You are a sad, strange little man.
All right, I got something to watch now. Cool.
You got 4 fucking movies, bitch.
I
Not
got
only
something to
4
watch.
fucking movies, there's a couple short films. There's 2 half-hour-long short films. Toy Story: A Terror and Toy Story that time in the toy was it Toy Story? Hold on, let me look this up. Okay, you've got hold on. Sorry, I'm trying to find it again. Blah 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 blah. Okay,
yeah,
so
I'll watch it. I will definitely watch it. I will. Matter of fact, send
Toy
me
Story of
something
Terror
on Twitter of everything I need to watch. You know, if there's an order.
Yeah,
Because
there's
some
like,
of those shorts might have got stuck in the middle. Because I really like that little muskrat or whatever on the Ice Age movies. I like his shorts. He's always really funny.
you know, Scrat actually can no longer be used in Ice Age movies, right? Like, so
why?
So according to a woman, this one woman, she claims that that Blue Sky ripped off her trademarked character Scrat. Right. And it was like a squirrel rat sort of thing, and it was spelled SQRAT or whatever.
Oh, maybe they did though.
And so, the thing is, though, she won, but she won right around the time Disney acquired Fox. So they basically that's why Scrat won't appear in any future Ice Age movies or anything.
Oh, it's all right here, Maddie. Like they got it all if you go to the Pixar section of Disney Plus, it's all right there. In order. Cool.
Oh yeah.
I watched Toy Story.
And then they've also got the short films on there finally. The Toy Story That Time Forgot and Toy Story of Terror. Both of those are fantastic. Toy Story of Terror. I'm not even making this up. It has a cum joke. There's a cum joke in Toy Story of Terror that it goes by and it's like, what is this goo on the floor of this hotel?
Oh, that is a cum joke.
And then Mr. Potato Head tastes it.
Oh, okay, everybody. 1 hour, 22 minutes, and 40 seconds. We got the first jizz.
That wasn't the first jizz reference. This is another jizz reference.
Oh my god.
Blargan here says Partysaurus Rex. Partysaurus Rex is great. We actually watch Partysaurus Rex quite often. There's a lot, like Dart Skipper here says that Toy Story 3 is the best. Toy Story 3 is really good. Really good. There's a lot of Toy Story 2s, all of them are great.
I'll binge them. Because I got a new show I want to start watching on Hulu called Trafficked. And I've been needing a healthy distraction, and between that docuseries and then Toy Story, I think I can get a pretty good little balance there.
That's good, man. There's a lot. There's always a lot of good stuff to watch out there. But real quick though, Pete Doctor, which they spelled it wrong, I think. Says Toy Story 5 will be surprising. It's got some really cool stuff that you haven't seen before. Now, I don't know what the fuck that means. What I'm really hoping is that they fix Buzz Lightyear's character. Now, I'm not going to say shit about that till you see Toy Story 4. You'll know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
And they kind of Buzz, Woody gets a whole bunch. Woody is the central figure of all of it, right? I know it's supposed to be Woody and Buzz, but it's really fucking Woody. The whole franchise is about Woody. And again, every movie deals and dabbles with identity in a multitude of fashions, right? But there's so many, but it's so good. It's so good. There's even a short, they did Forky Asks a Question. And that was from after Toy Story 4, and those are on Disney Plus as well. And there's one of them what is love? And he goes into the closet, and it's inside the closet are old toys, really old toys. Bonnie's first toys, right? And so, but they're voiced by Carol Burnett, Betty White, Carl Reiner, and Mel Brooks.
Dude, that's an all-star cast. That's Hollywood royalty.
All-star cast
royalty,
right there.
bro.
Yeah, it's and they got him in there, and then even Kristen Schaal, who I'm a huge fan of, pops in number 3 and 4, and a few of the other things. You've got You know, I mean, they've got really good voice casts. Like Kelsey Grammer's in number 2. You know, again, when you watch them, man, they're great. They're really, really good. And I feel like, you know, even H. Bars had mentioned, what was he? He says, I love Party Central for Monsters Inc. That's so fucking funny. Or Monsters University is that one. Have you ever seen the Monsters Inc. Monsters University?
Yeah, Monsters Inc. is probably my favorite Pixar movie. I haven't seen Monster University though.
Dude.
Mike Wazowski.
Mike Wazowski. No. Monsters University is really fucking good. So it's the best. It is honestly, and I say this all the time, it is honestly one of the best college movies you'll probably ever see.
And it's I bet it is because Monsters Inc. is my favorite Pixar movie.
Yeah, just
even
imagine,
over Cars.
Like, you know, Cars is like a ripoff of Doc Hollywood, but Cars 3 I think is really good. I like Cars and I like Cars 3. Cars 2 still fundamentally.
Oh wow! I never even thought about that. Michael J. Fox, Rex's car on the fence. Oh my god! Yeah, it really is a total ripoff.
Yeah, it's a total ripoff to fucking Doc Hollywood, dude. Not even like they don't even hide it. You know, they don't even hide it that it's a ripoff to that one. But the what was I going to say? No, Monsters University. The joke I make is it's like, you know, it's like Revenge of the Nerds without the rape.
If
you know
there was.
There's sexual assault in Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah, he wears the mask.
He wears the mask, yeah. Oh my god, I just had sex with a nerd.
I forgot all about that. Yeah, you couldn't do that today.
No, you couldn't do that then.
You couldn't do that then. No shit. Wow, I forgot all about that. No shit. Yeah, he wore the mask and pretended to be oh wow.
Yeah, he pretended to be Ted C. McGinley. Right? Wow. Like that's the funny thing. Anyway, but the thing is, the way I view Monsters University is it's a really good college movie, and it's got the whole thing is great.
Is Boo in it again?
No. But so okay, so you know at the end of Monsters Inc. when like they have the door, right?
Yeah, and she giggles when she sees him.
Yeah, she goes, a kitty, right? So there's a show that Disney Plus put out in 2021 called Monsters at Work. And it is a sequel to Monsters Inc., but it's also it leads right to the end of the movie. Meaning like it takes place in between Waternoose getting busted, right? The laugh power becoming a thing.
Yeah.
And the laugh floor scene at the end of Monsters Inc. when he gets the thing to go to Boo. It leads right up to that. And it's great. Cool. It's great because you've also got
so it runs parallel.
It runs parallel to it.
Yeah, okay, that's cool.
No. It literally because it takes place after like the main story of the movie ends because it's all about the the maintenance team at Monsters Inc.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah. So it's like if Tarantino did a Pixar movie. Yeah, without the violence.
it's really good because like it's got like it's so funny too because Mindy Kaling's in Velma, and that show is terrible. She also voices one of the monsters in Monsters at Work, and there's a great line, and because she went to college, she went to Monsters University with the main guy. Who graduated top of his class like Scully was supposed to. Again, you'll know that when you watch Monsters University, and it's funny because she dropped out, and she goes, wow, I dropped out of college, you graduated college, and we both end up working at the same place.
Wow, that's a little bit too real.
It was so, dude. She says
it's a little bit too real, man. Yeah,
I just started dying with laughter. It's such like Henry Winkler is in it. John Goodman, fucking Billy Crystal, Jennifer Tilly comes back.
Dude,
Monsters at Work is so good.
Yeah, I love Jennifer Tilly. I think she's great.
Let's see,
not because of the Chucky stuff, but because of the stuff she did before that. I loved the one with Richard Dreyfuss where he's gambling on the horses all day. Let It Ride. What a great 80s movie, man, with Jennifer Tilly.
I actually did not see that movie.
It's really good. See, now you're missing out.
Yeah, no, there's movies I haven't seen. I can acknowledge that shit, man. Let's see. Benson here says Condor Man makes an appearance in the Toy Story short Small Fry. Oh, he does? That's a cute little short too. That's a cute little short.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Condor Man. I know it's like a movie, and you know, I
It's
tried to get me to watch
Benson's
it
favorite
once,
movie.
but I'm just
Yeah,
like, I can't do it.
yeah, Benson will like that. You know, hold on. Blargan here asks, do you think Toy Story 5 is going to retcon what happened at the end of 4? I didn't even like that ending, but I really hope that they don't. It will just make 4 feel pointless and meandering. Well, without going into spoilers because he hasn't seen it yet, I would argue my take on it is that they're going to bring everybody back together, and I just don't know for what purpose yet. But they need a good purpose to do that.
Okay, I'm gonna say that, and I've never seen these, but I'm gonna say that part 4, they got to bring everybody back together because what'd you say his name was? Randy?
Andy.
And okay,
Woody?
Andy. He outgrows his toys.
Well, no, that happens like in number 3.
Okay.
So it's like, you know, again, you gotta watch it. I don't want to spoil it because you haven't seen it.
Well, I'm just trying to think of a plot they could use. They could use Andy wants to come back to get all his toys because they're retro.
I don't think that would necessarily happen because they've already dealt. Again, you gotta watch it. You gotta.
Okay,
I can't
all right.
talk to you about it. You haven't seen it.
Shit before I'm in, bro.
You haven't. You gotta do Toy Story 2, man. Big Al's Toy Barn, like, and then you'll recognize the meme. Like, people always think I look like Big Al. Like, that meme's pretty fucking funny in my opinion. But Anthony here for 2, thank you, asking, have you ever watched Buzz Lightyear of Star Command? I haven't. Have not watched that one yet.
Matt just said, fuck it. From now on, he's going to steer right into this kid. That's a funny meme. Make fun of me all you want.
Well, you know what, man? Look, in the very first episode of Game of Thrones, Tyrion says to Jon Snow, you know, wear it on you like armor and they can't use it against you.
Oh, when he's talking about bastards also.
He's talking
bastards.
Yeah. You know, wear it on you like armor and they can't use it against you. Like, someone, you know, like, that's the thing getting you with Nerdrotic tonight. Oh, I'm just going to fucking go order Uber Eats. Whoop-de-fucking do. Like, that
this
doesn't...
shirt that he's owned, he doesn't even understand what he did to himself. Like, he doesn't even get it.
Yeah, you're just like, based upon the shirt you're wearing, it seems to me that you're hungry for cock.
Yeah,
like,
you're trying to be so alpha, dude, bro, masculine. You don't even realize your shirt says you want men.
Yeah, make Marvel male again. I mean, like, why? To, like, tap the prostate? Like, are you missing your old jail days or what, dude? What the fuck?
I really don't like that dude, man.
I don't like him either, which is why I have no problem saying exceptionally horrible things to him or about him. Sorry, I don't care. People get mad at me about that shit all the time, but it's like, fuck that shit. It's like, you know, someone today was like, I don't know what happened to Matt. Like, he moved from San Diego to Portland. Maybe that's the problem. And I'm all like, and now I live close to Evergreen State College. Oh my God, the horror.
Oh, really? They're trying to like make it political? Wow.
Yeah, like, oh, he left San Diego, like based San Diego, and like went to fucking commie Portland. I'm like, you know, I grew up in Portland.
And you're not even in Portland. You're in Washington. Like,
now I live in now I live in Washington. Now I live over here. It's like, that's, you know, I live next to Evergreen State College, which, if you know anything about the 2017 situation in Evergreen,
it's
crazy.
What they call it, the Chaz?
No, that was Seattle. That's
Seattle. What happened at the college?
So at Evergreen, you had a Professor Weinstein, like, not give in to like local activists,
right,
and like it caused this whole fucking thing. And I don't remember all the details.
I also remember that kid getting shot outside of Portland in one of the schools. I remember that. Yeah,
but like I mean, I don't really remember that.
He was outside of. They were trying to escort him out, and he got mad. It was political, and he reached in his duffel bag, and they shot him.
Yeah, suicide by cop's a thing.
Yeah,
fucking dingleberries. No, I don't know, man. It's like the thing is, the people. This is the thing. Is like, people want to, you know, like, if you want to sit there and tell me like you can't sit there and tell me that in California, major cities don't have a problem. They absolutely have a problem.
Come on, man. Look at Frisco. Of course,
dude.
Look at LA.
There was an article I read a couple years ago about how they literally found the bubonic plague in Frisco.
That's insane.
There was a Hep C outbreak amongst the homeless population in downtown San Diego a couple years back as well, right? Like, it's like, this shit actually happens. But the thing is, though, it's like, and even here where I live, there's a massive homeless problem in Olympia. You know, and
one of my oldest friends is in Oceanside, and if you know anything about San Diego, you know Oceanside's like the ritzy part. And he says they're getting a homeless problem there. Oceanside.
Well, I can. Well, okay, like Oside is definitely nice. I wouldn't say it's the ritziest, but it's like it's nice, you know. But the thing is, though, the reason why that happens there because there's only really like the one road. It's just the freeway, right? It's just the freeway that the I-5 comes through it. That's it. The same thing happens with Santa Barbara. Santa Barbara is an exceptionally beautiful city. It is extremely expensive to live there. They have a massive homelessness problem there because, again, the only way in and the only way out is the 101. That's it, right? It's like, that's it. So you are 30 miles away from Oxnard and you're like 60 miles away from like, I want to say like San Onofre, like correctional facility or some shit, right? Like it's like you're kind of in between. There's nothing. There's not much else by there. So it's like you got nowhere to go. You can just go there and like there's just nowhere else to go. People just kind of go and stop. But it's like
hold on, nobody's talking shit. It's just a fact that those used to be very, very glamorous types. Every city has its ghettos and its bad neighborhoods.
No, I lived in fucking I've lived in San Diego. I've lived in Portland. I lived in LA. I lived next to Seattle. Out of all the major fucking West Coast cities, I've lived in or near 4 out of the 5.
Yeah, and I'm from Chicago, Mad Queen. That's where I'm from. I live in St. Louis now. We're a small town outside of St. Louis, but I'm from Chicago. Trust me, I know there's problems everywhere.
There's problems. It's like, but how do you solve it? That's the big issue. See, okay, but the thing is though, it's like so the way that like someone like Gary from Roddick talks about this is he's like, oh, it's California. It's just failed policies of the fucking the Democratic. Like, dude, there's fucking homeless problems in Texas too. That's a very red state.
These people talk shit, but really what it comes down to is they want to be anti-shit or being anti-woke. I would bet money, even at his age, Matt, that this fucking dude don't even understand policy or how policy works.
It's just like, I mean, there's a lot there that goes into this kind of stuff. And I think I'll tell you this, if you want my honest take on this, is there's a lot of issue with nonprofits and the bloat that comes with nonprofits because nonprofits collect a lot of money. So like there was actually, I'm not kidding you. I saw this in Portland when I lived there. They basically put up signs that said, do not give homeless people money. Give it to these organizations instead. Right. And my response to that was like, if I was going to give them money, why would I give it to a third party? Why would I not just give it to the person in need? Right. But again, the people who work for these nonprofits have overhead. The overhead pays salaries, oftentimes pretty decent salaries. So they need to get money, keep money coming on in so they can do these outreach programs. So only so much of their money actually ends up going to benefit the problem at hand. That's the biggest issue with these nonprofits, right? Is like, when you've got these CEOs of these nonprofits and they're paying themselves like $250,000 a year.
Yeah.
You're like, what? Right? Like,
yeah. What? So that's crazy. And then they're getting kickbacks and they don't have to, it's terrible. It's terrible.
So
meanwhile, some people are trying to figure out how to keep the heat on right now.
Well, yeah, I mean, I see like Queen Danny talking about like Portland and whatnot. Like I lived there, you know what I mean? Like Portland is a great city. I love Portland. It's a beautiful place to live. San Diego is an amazing city. I love San Diego. LA has a lot of faults. Don't get me wrong, but there's parts of LA that are just awesome beyond belief. Seattle's the same way. There are issues when it comes to this kind of stuff. And the biggest issue has a lot to do with just what do you do when it comes to this problem. And a lot of people just tend to kick it down the road, right? Like it's that because a lot of it's mental health problems, a lot of it's addiction issues. And, and where it's really interesting about where I live is just the other day, there was like, I noticed a bunch of construction. They had like, set the construction was going to be happening on the freeway. And I was like, oh, okay. So I planned to leave a little bit early. And as I was getting up there, I saw that there's a homeless encampment and they were tearing down the homeless encampment, right? As I was taking the kids to school and they had like excavators up there and they're just like tearing it down, and then I come back 3 hours later after I picked the kids up and the whole thing is cleared out, right? It's all cleared out. They laid down fresh hay. I don't know why, but they laid down fresh hay and whatever. And then the next day, I'm taking the kids back to school and I look past that and there's one tent that's back up there, and I'm like, at this point, what are you going to, what do you like? You spend all that money, all that time, to just get rid of this shit. And when I drive the kids up there in the morning, I guarantee you there's going to be a whole new encampment there, you know? And it's just, all they do is they tear it down. They tear them down all the time. And then they just end up moving right back in. You know, I mean,
I think I heard about the spike thing.
Yeah,
there's
spikes that have happened. I mean, like they put spikes on benches or things that make it so people like can't sleep and shit. It's like, you know, that's where a lot of the problems come from. And so it's like, but again, the idea there though, and I don't want to kind of wax too political, but it's basically like, you know, what you have is complaint versus solution is really what it boils down to. It's complaint versus solution. If a person, you know, wants to just complain about it, but not come up with an apt solution, then they're just dogs on a nail.
I blame the Young Turks. I almost got that out without laughing.
I mean,
because that's all they do is complain. But you see them paying themselves all these big salaries, you know, Anna Kasparian and Cenk Uygur.
They don't make that much money. They don't make as much as you might think. But I do know
they make enough to, like, you know, kick it down a little bit, man. Kick some down. Stop complaining, because you're right. Stop complaining about it. But I was only kidding about the Young Turks. I just thought it would be funny to say that.
Ryan here says, I have family in Portland. Everything is literally within walking distance. Oh yeah. When I lived on the outskirts, I lived in Beaverton, right next to Nike's worldwide headquarters, you know, and they have the infrastructure for public transportation in Portland is like, I would argue the best in the country, right? Like they said that outside of I think like New York and Los Angeles, like they're number 3 for the country. But I'm like, I've done public transportation in fucking LA, and it's terrible. It's terrible. Portland is functional as fuck, and it works out really well. But no, Portland is great, man. We used to take the tram, take the Max, right? Like what we would do is we'd walk down the street about maybe, I don't know, a quarter mile, right? Nah, more than that, like half mile. Walk down just to get to the bus stop, right to the transit center. There was a Max line right there. I didn't have a car. So for the first year I lived there. And so if we wanted to go to Costco to go get food, we would just walk down to the transit center. We would take it up 2 stops, and there would be Costco that's like a half block away. So we would just walk over to Costco, you know, with our little wagon, load up on what we need, go back, take the Max, and then go back home. If we wanted to go downtown, we would just walk down, take it the other direction. 25 minutes later, I'm in downtown, walk around all night long, you know, do what I want to go do, and then jump back on the Max. And, you know, it runs until 1-2 o'clock in the morning and shit. It was great. It was perfect. You know, and then it's like, because I think public transportation is like a massive thing for, like, you know, for everywhere.
Yeah, believe it or not, Chicago's like that. You can take the L anywhere, man, and it's fast, but you got to go through like a lot of bad neighborhoods to get to the neighborhood maybe you're going to. So it can get a little crazy on the L, but yeah, you can be anywhere in Chicago in under an hour.
Yeah. If you know what you're doing, you can get around. Even in LA, you can do that too if you know what you're doing. Jess here for 2, thank you, says the housing market needs to be reworked. I mean, yeah.
They've been saying that since 2008.
I mean, considering the fact that, like, I moved in here 6 years ago, and my property value has, I think, like, come up on almost a double, right?
Ours did, yeah.
But it's like, you know, my girlfriend today is like, she was like, because she goes, I'm ready to move. Where do you want to go? And I go, like, you know where I want to go. And she's like, we can't afford California. I'm like, well, that's where I want to go.
That's where you want to be, don't you? San Diego or LA?
I would prefer San Diego. And because here's the reason why I prefer San Diego. It's, for one, like, is it comfortable because I spent like 15 years there? Yeah, 100%. Right? Do I love San Diego? 100%. I mean, like, my friends are all there. You know, like my young adult life was there. So, like, I have.
I get it. Yeah.
You know, and it's like, but would I want to live out to where we used to live? Hell no. You know.
No, I'm never going.
But like I would need a lot of money to, like, be able to do, like, I would have to, like, to be able to afford to live where I would want to live in San Diego, which is not even the fucking hardcore places and shit. Like, you know, it would be like, I would need to make probably about like $8,000 a month to be able to do that sort of thing. And that's just like a lot of fucking money.
That's a lot of money,
you know? Yeah. So if you guys want to support my move to California, patreon.com/SmackDrop. I'm just going to say it. That's how it's going to happen. But otherwise, I mean, I have my house here and whatever. And it's like, but if I had to, like, look, the thing is, like, living in Washington, there's a lot of perks living in Washington. There really are. Like, it's no income tax state. So being a business owner, it benefits me quite a bit.
Yeah, I liked Kirkland. I was there for a while.
Kirkland's nice, north of Seattle and whatnot. I wouldn't mind moving. I wouldn't mind moving to the Kirkland area or like somewhere up by Auburn or like closer to Seattle just to be able to get to the city faster. We've looked at Tacoma. I think Tacoma is really pretty. There's a lot of bad areas at Tacoma, but Tacoma is one that's on the up and coming. I mean, like the Cinemark that I saw fucking.
They caught the Green River Killer, so we're safe.
We're good. Yeah. The green, yeah.
So Tacoma's safe again.
Tacoma's safe once again. Even though it was like 40 years ago. But yeah, good call. Good call on the PD there. Anyway, but yeah, the housing market, if I could choose, like we would probably end up moving like back down to like Vancouver to just be like across from Portland. Because for one, I got like the kids, like my dad and my stepmom are only like 30 minutes away from here. My mom lives south of Portland, but it's like she's been bitching at me to like move closer because she's like the drive up is just terrible for her.
Yeah, that does.
So I'm like, I get that, and everything else. My sister lives in Vancouver. My brother moved back from San Diego to Vancouver. So it's like I got all my cousins. I got, friends I went to high school with and everything else are still down in Portland. So there's stuff to do in Portland. Like there's stuff to do down there. And I wouldn't mind. For me, it's all about the accessibility. Like, Olympia is just boring. There's like nothing to do here. Like even today, my kid's like, let's go to the park. And I'm like, it's drizzly, rainy, and cold. Like, but if we were in San Diego, it's fucking February. I'd say, let's go to the beach, man. Like we could go down to La Jolla Shores and just kind of hang out. It's gonna be a little bit windy, but it's gonna be all right. It's all right. We'll be good. It's just that kind of crap. But it's like, it is what it is. We'll figure it out eventually. We got Peter Rabbit's Defender here for 10 bones. Thank you very much, buddy. Really appreciate that. Says, not going to throw shade at Saggy. I am listening to her hate on The Rock in last night's live stream. But did she know that The Rock is the most superstar, that pleasing and is nice with the fans in public? Yeah, no. He's like, when we talk about The Rock in that regard, like we're talking about his business acumen, right? Like he's hardcore business is what we're referring to. That's what it is. Like he's hardcore business, and his actions on the whole hardcore business front are a big reason why a lot has happened. With like, Dwayne Johnson and Henry Cavill and things like that.
Yeah, it's and I always did look, I love The Rock, but I always did think he was a little bit overrated.
Well, I mean, it's like, it depends on the project, right? Like for me, like if all of a sudden The Rock came out and he's like, we're doing the Rundown 2, I'd be like, fuck yeah, dude, I'm in.
Yeah. Or even Walking Tall 2, I'm in. Fuck
yeah.
it,
well, they did do Walking Tall 2 and 3. You know that, right?
Not with The Rock.
Not with The Rock. With who?
I think it was Kevin Sorbo.
It was Kevin. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it was Sorbo.
Yeah. He dropped the stick and he grabbed a Bible and he just started thumping people with it. No, I'm kidding. But it's
and he got a Christian joke in too. He got the trifecta tonight.
Ayo, yeah,
Porn, comment, anti-Christian.
There we go, everybody. Hit the jizz alert.
Zesty, whatever the fuck. I forgot what it is.
So anyway,
are you gonna do the? Because I'm gonna fall back, but I want to listen to it, man. My eyes are getting heavy, but I want to listen to what you have to say about
I need to cover. Well, there's one more thing with Mando. That's
well, I want to. Okay, but I'm gonna. What I'm saying is, I'm gonna fall back and listen to you. But if I want to hear you talk about Mindhunters. That's one of my favorite shows ever.
Well, we did talk about Mindhunter.
Okay, good. Okay, cool.
So yeah, no, it was. I needed a subject. I was recording the patio commentary for the Running Man, so I was running late tonight. Because I was like, I'm gonna make him a little bit shorter.
You got a new patio out? I didn't get it.
No, tomorrow. Tomorrow comes out tomorrow.
I think I'm gonna turn on Toy Story, like you said, and get started, man.
Yeah.
Or maybe the College Monster one sounds fun now too.
Go watch Monsters University. It's super good.
I'll watch that, then dive into Toy Story. All right. Well, like
start
I said,
with Monsters. Yeah.
I always have fun when I come on here, man. So
I appreciate you coming on, buddy. Thank you.
Have a good rest of the stream, and I'll be watching.
All right, buddy. I'll see you later. Thank you. Bye. All right. Oh fuck! It's after midnight. Holy shit! Kids got school tomorrow. H Bars here for 10. Thank you. Says we moved out of Grand Rapids because my old neighborhood was a great neighborhood, but low income apartments are being built. So we moved out to the country. I mean, that's like, I mean, that's kind of self-reporting a little bit. Don't you think? These low income housing moving in. I mean, I know people who make that complaint. But I think low income housing is like not a bad thing in my mind, because people need a place to live. And, I mean, the people these days aren't, younger generations aren't buying as much, if I recall. So I get it. I mean, like there was a halfway house that was that was next to me. Right. And then, like we had a couple, like I had a car stolen like 5 years ago and shit. We first moved in here. My girlfriend's car was stolen on Christmas night and then flipped in a creek. I've talked about that before, but it's like, we didn't move because of that. We just like put up security cameras and shit. And it's been calm ever since. Yeah. Cause once that place got out of here, but I mean, you're never going to be able to like get away from that kind of stuff, I guess. But I mean, if I had to pick a place for me, I want to go to San Diego. Whale's vagina. But anyway, let's see. Ryan here says, I live near the Cascades, 30 minutes east of Seattle. Beautiful scenery, fresh air, and great locals. Yeah, I mean, so you're out there by like the Snoqualmie area. Man, I remember Snoqualmie in like the 90s when my dad lived there. There was nothing in Snoqualmie. Now it's fucking like just packed, super packed. Let's see. Command unit here for 5. Thank you. Says, I think a Soviet Chinese style internal passport system would be good for the U.S. Gives some limit to internal migration. Well, they're kind of talking about that, right? They're kind of talking about that. One of the issues is, like, so in Washington, for example, they have a whole thing about the enhanced driver's license. So if you are going to travel to Canada by car, they want you to have an enhanced driver's license or a passport. You used to be able to just use your ID and that would be fine. But now they want the enhanced driver's license. But then also if you want to fly out of the state in regards to like, interstate travel, they want you to have an enhanced driver's license. I don't know if that has gone into effect yet. It was supposed to go into effect like in 2019, but they kept pushing it. I have to renew my driver's license this next month. So I'm just going to find my birth certificate and then apply for the enhanced driver's license because like it's like, whatever. It's not that bad, but I think it's like, but the driver's license here lasts like 5 years. Ask him, so that's not terrible. Let's see. Okay. H Bar's here. Thank you. To expand my super chat, my neighborhood was becoming run down. Well, I mean, like the problem with that is just, again, it's you live in Michigan and Michigan has a big problem with industry leaving. So that is a factor, you know what I mean? And I get that it is a factor. I understand that. But it is also kind of like, I get it. I understand that and everything. I think like, I don't know. We just got to figure all that crap out. But all right. So, cause it is getting a little bit late. Let's get to the final thing here. According to Jon Favreau, Mandalorian season 4 is already written, which is great. He says here, season 4. Yeah, I've written it already. We have to know where we are going to tell a fully formed story. So we had mapped it out, Dave Filoni and I. And then you slowly just write each episode. So I was writing it during post-production because all of it has to feel like the continuation of one full story, which is awesome. So if season 4, right? So there's another thing that happened with Star Wars today. I got to try to find it real quick. Another thing that happened with Star Wars today was that they had announced that Star Wars Celebration was actually not going to be happening during 2024 because it's happening this year in, where is it? It's happening this year in London, right? It's happening in London and whatnot. And so they've opted to not do it. And instead they're doing it in 2025. So I think the reason why they're doing it in 2025 has a lot to do with the fact that they want to have it ready for the time that there is a new movie to promote. Because, you know, I mean, like, look, what's happening this year? This year, we know we're in the Bad Batch right now. Mando season 4 or season 3 drops here very soon. And then, of course, we've got, you know, Ahsoka coming later on this year. I think Rosario Dawson has now said that Ahsoka is looking like it's coming in the fall. And then there is the Skeleton Crew, which is coming, I want to say, after that. There's also a rumor that I heard, that I saw yesterday on Twitter, that had talked about how the Book of Boba Fett was already in pre-production for season 2, because they've never said that it was canceled. And I mean, if they're going to do Boba Fett again, they have to do Boba Fett right. I'm sorry. Like, you have to make him more of a badass, and not trying to, like, you know, become an underground crime lord. Sorry, bounty hunter or nothing. So, all right, we got, was this Harry Potter, but in Soviet Russia? That should be fascinating. Harry Potter, but in Soviet Russia. In Soviet Russia, Harry Potter, play you. I don't know. Let me see. I'm waiting for it to load up there so I can actually get the link, because I have to let it load on the side of it. But thank you. Let's see. Mad Queen Danny here says, try looking up Whittier, California. It's where Nixon grew up and the perfect place to raise a family. I've heard good things about Whittier. You know, H Bars here says, at least I don't live in Detroit. I mean, yeah. Like, yeah, I can't say much about that. You know what I mean? I can't say much about that because I kind of feel like Detroit has definitely had its, Detroit may not be the best place for a lot of stuff, I think. You know, and that's just what I hear about Detroit. It's like, you hear the same shit about Chicago, by the way, just as a thing. So, you hear the same shit about Chicago. So, all right. But I hear Detroit's really pretty, really pretty. I'd love to go there and see it one day. I really would. It's kind of like when I was in Milwaukee. I really loved the architecture of Milwaukee. So, okay, this is the thing from Command Unit here. Harry Potter, but in Soviet Russia. Looks AI created, so you know me. I always like that. Hello, I'm Harry Potter. Welcome to Hogwarts. We want to learn the defense of dark arts against... You're a wizard, Harry. Yeah. I just want some goulash, you know, am I? I can't. It looks like one of the Von Trapps. What do they use to make this? I don't know if this is Mid-Journey or if it's Stable Diffusion or whatever. Dumbledore, but Jude Law Dumbledore. Look at the eyes on the kid behind. Looks like Agent 47. All right. There we go. Gotta love AI stuff there, guys. Gotta love AI stuff. So, all right, we are at the 2-hour mark, and I have got to get to bed simply because it is a school night. Kids have to go to class in the morning. I will be on tomorrow night. And then, of course, dropping tomorrow, probably midday, will be the Running Man episode of Podio Commentary, youtube.com/Podio Commentary. If you're bored and you want something to listen to, my Bloody Valentine episode was last week, and it's a fun one. And so, of course, again, Running Man is the shit. Check it out. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Thank you again for hanging out, everybody. Have yourself a great evening, and peace the fuck out.